Welcome to Stoic Courts. Have you ever met someone whose actions left you questioning their true intentions? In today's video, we're diving into the signs that reveal when you might be dealing with a truly malevolent individual. These insights, rooted in the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, will help you recognize toxic behaviors and protect your peace of mind. Stick around to learn how to identify these warning signs and navigate life's challenges with clarity and strength. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more empowering content. Let's get started. Number 1. The urge to control. The urge to control is a deeply ingrained human instinct, rooted in our desire for security, predictability, and survival. From our earliest days, we seek to mold our environment to suit our needs, whether through the simple act of rearranging furniture to create comfort, or the complex endeavor of organizing societies to maintain order. This drive can be beneficial, enabling us to set goals, achieve progress, and navigate challenges with confidence. However, it can also become a source of tension, especially when the desire to control extends beyond what is reasonable or achievable. The compulsion to control people, situations, or outcomes can create stress, foster resistance in others, and limit personal growth. Life's inherent unpredictability often clashes with this need for mastery, and the gap between expectation and reality can breed frustration. Control is often an illusion, a mental construct we use to navigate uncertainty. While we may influence events or steer certain situations, the ultimate outcome remains subject to countless variables beyond our grasp. For instance, we might plan meticulously for a career move, only to face unforeseen challenges like economic downturns or industry shifts. In relationships, the urge to dictate others' behaviors, born from fear or insecurity, can erode trust and stifle connection. Similarly, attempts to micromanage or dominate in professional settings may lead to resentment, diminished team morale, and even failure to achieve shared objectives. Psychologically, the urge to control often stems from fear of failure, rejection, or chaos. When we feel powerless or vulnerable, exerting control becomes a coping mechanism to regain a sense of stability. For some, this manifests as perfectionism, where the need for everything to be flawless masks deeper anxieties. For others, it might emerge as an obsession with routine, where predictable patterns offer comfort in a seemingly chaotic world. While such behaviors might provide short-term relief, they often come at the expense of adaptability and emotional well-being. Yet letting go of the need to control does not mean surrendering to apathy or chaos. Rather, it involves cultivating trust in oneself, in others, and in the natural flow of life. It requires the courage to accept uncertainty and embrace flexibility. By focusing on what we can influence, our thoughts, actions, and attitudes, we shift from a mindset of control to one of empowerment. This shift allows us to approach challenges with curiosity rather than resistance, and to foster deeper connections with those around us by honoring their autonomy. Ultimately, the urge to control is a double-edged sword. When balanced with self-awareness and acceptance, it can drive constructive change and personal growth. However, unchecked, it can become a prison, confining us to rigid expectations and endless anxiety. The key lies in recognizing its presence, understanding its origins, and learning to let go of what cannot be held. Only then can we find true freedom, not in mastering every detail of life, but in dancing with its unpredictability. Number 2. The Mask of Charm. The Mask of Charm is a captivating tale that explores the duality of human nature and the lengths individuals go to in order to achieve power and acceptance. The story revolves around a mystical mask, rumored to grant its wearer unparalleled charisma and the ability to bend the will of others. However, this gift comes at a sinister cost. The mask, crafted centuries ago by a cunning sorcerer, feeds on the wearer's true self, eroding their identity with each use. At the heart of the story is Alara, a young woman struggling to navigate a world where superficiality reigns supreme. Feeling overlooked and undervalued, she stumbles upon the mask in a forgotten antique shop and is instantly drawn to its ornate design and haunting allure. Against the shopkeeper's cryptic warnings, she purchases the mask and succumbs to its tempting promise of instant charm. Once donned, Ilara transforms into a magnetic figure, commanding admiration and respect wherever she goes. Her newfound confidence allows her to achieve what once seemed impossible, climbing social ladders, securing a dream job, and winning over the affections of her longtime crush. Yet as days turn into weeks, Ilara begins to notice unsettling changes. Her reflection in the mirror appears more foreign, her thoughts clouded, and her emotions dulled. The mask, once a tool of empowerment, becomes a prison, forcing her to confront the consequences of sacrificing authenticity for influence. The climax reveals the true nature of the mask. It absorbs the wearer's essence to fuel its charm, leaving behind an empty shell. Ilara must decide whether to embrace the mask's power, knowing it will consume her entirely, or to relinquish it and face the fallout of exposing her true self. In a poignant moment of self-realization, she chooses authenticity, casting the mask into a raging fire, symbolically reclaiming her identity. The story concludes with Ilara standing before her peers, vulnerable but resolute, earning respect not through artifice, but by embracing her imperfections. The Mask of Charm is a timeless parable that delves into the perils of losing oneself in the pursuit of societal validation. It challenges readers to reflect on the masks they wear daily, whether to fit in, gain approval, or hide insecurities, and encourages the embrace of genuine connections rooted in honesty and self-acceptance. Through its rich symbolism and emotional depth, the story resonates with anyone who has ever struggled with the balance between outward appearances and inner truth. Number 3. The absence of empathy. The absence of empathy creates a void that can be deeply unsettling, both on an individual and societal level. Empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of another, is a cornerstone of human connection and the glue that binds communities together. Without it, relationships falter, trust erodes, and societies can fracture under the weight of alienation. In its absence, people often become consumed by self-interest, unable to see beyond their own needs and perspectives. This lack of understanding breeds misunderstandings and conflict, as individuals fail to grasp the experiences or struggles of others. On a larger scale, the absence of empathy can give rise to systemic issues, such as inequality and injustice, as those in positions of power overlook or dismiss the suffering of marginalized groups. The ripple effects extend into every aspect of life. Workplaces become toxic, friendships turn superficial, and families grow distant. In such an environment, kindness and compassion become rare commodities, replaced by apathy or even hostility. The consequences of an empathy deficit are particularly stark in today's hyper-connected world. Despite unprecedented access to information and global communication, people often feel more disconnected than ever. The rapid pace of life, coupled with the rise of digital interactions, has sometimes dulled our capacity to engage meaningfully with others. Online platforms, while offering opportunities to connect, can also foster detachment as users hide behind screens, dehumanizing others through harsh words or judgment. This digital detachment exacerbates the empathy gap, making it easier to ignore the pain or struggles of others. News of tragedies or crises becomes just another headline to scroll past, reducing genuine human suffering to fleeting moments of attention. The absence of empathy also has profound implications for mental health. Those who experience a lack of empathy from others may feel invalidated, isolated, and misunderstood, leading to increased stress, anxiety, and depression. For those incapable of empathy, the inability to connect with others on an emotional level can lead to a sense of emptiness or a lack of fulfillment, as meaningful relationships often require mutual understanding and emotional reciprocity. In both cases, the absence of empathy contributes to a cycle of emotional detachment and loneliness, creating barriers to healing and personal growth. Yet despite its troubling consequences, the absence of empathy is not an irreversible condition. Empathy, like any skill, can be cultivated with conscious effort and intention. It begins with active listening, truly hearing others without judgment, and a willingness to step outside one's comfort zone to see the world through different lenses. Education and storytelling can play pivotal roles, as they open windows into experiences vastly different from our own, fostering a sense of shared humanity. Small acts of kindness and genuine curiosity about others' lives can also rebuild empathy where it has been lost. By nurturing this essential quality, individuals can help mend fractured relationships, strengthen communities, and create a more compassionate world. The absence of empathy may leave a void, but with effort and understanding, it is one we have the power to fill. Number 4. The web of lies. In the heart of a sprawling city where shadows stretched longer than the skyscrapers, the truth was a fragile thread tangled in the web of lies. Beneath the polished veneer of ambition and success, secrets thrived like parasites, feeding on fear, greed, and betrayal. At the center of this web was Evelyn Grayson, a journalist celebrated for her unrelenting pursuit of justice. Yet, as she uncovered the city's darkest truths, she was blind to the intricate lies spinning around her own life. Evelyn had always believed the truth could set people free, but she would soon learn it could also imprison, destroy, or even kill. Her latest story was a labyrinth of corruption, a scandal so vast it reached the highest echelons of power. A whistleblower, codenamed Sparrow, had tipped her off to a corporate conspiracy that siphoned billions through shell companies while silencing those who got too close. The evidence was damning: falsified documents, encrypted emails, and a trail of vanished whistleblowers. Every lead Evelyn followed drew her deeper into a dangerous game, where every ally could be a betrayer and every clue could be a trap. As she pieced together the puzzle, Evelyn couldn't ignore the growing feeling that she was being watched. What Evelyn didn't know was that the web she was unraveling wasn't woven by strangers. It was her own. The corporation at the heart of her investigation, Nexus Global, had ties to someone she trusted implicitly: her fiancé, Daniel. Behind his gentle smiles and quiet encouragement, Daniel was a ghost, a man with no digital footprint, no history before their meeting 3 years ago. He had woven himself into her life as seamlessly as the lies she was uncovering, and when Evelyn's investigation began to circle too close to the truth, Daniel's carefully constructed facade started to crack. As Evelyn neared the final piece of the puzzle, the dangers escalated. A late-night break-in at her apartment left her shaken but determined. She didn't know the intruder wasn't just after her notes. They had planted spyware, tracking her every move. With each step forward, she exposed herself to a network of enemies who would stop at nothing to protect their secrets. Yet the most crushing betrayal awaited her not from her enemies, but from Daniel. When she finally confronted him with evidence of his involvement, his confession shattered her world. He wasn't just complicit. He was the architect of the very conspiracy she sought to expose. Now, Evelyn must navigate a web of deceit so intricate it threatens to consume her. Will she risk everything: her career, her relationships, and her life to expose the truth? Or will the weight of her discoveries trap her in the web, just another victim of its design? In the end, the web of lies isn't just about exposing others' secrets. It's about confronting the ones closest to us and deciding whether the truth is worth the price. Number 5. Mastery of manipulation. Manipulation is an art form that weaves psychology, persuasion, and strategy into a potent tool capable of influencing thoughts, behaviors, and decisions. Those who master manipulation wield the ability to shape perceptions and steer outcomes to align with their intentions, often without others realizing they are being guided. At its core, manipulation capitalizes on human tendencies, our biases, emotions, and desires, making it both a powerful and ethically complex skill. A manipulator can exploit the subconscious, planting ideas or evoking emotions that influence actions in their favor. They are adept at reading people, recognizing vulnerabilities, and tailoring their approach to each unique individual or situation. While manipulation is often associated with negative connotations, such as deceit or exploitation, its application extends beyond malice. In leadership, marketing, negotiation, or even personal relationships, manipulation can be a neutral or even positive force, fostering collaboration, alignment, or inspiration. Central to the mastery of manipulation is an understanding of human psychology. Skilled manipulators are keen observers, attuned to body language, tone of voice, and subtle cues that reveal underlying emotions and intentions. They are adept at mirroring behaviors, building rapport, and creating a sense of trust and familiarity. This connection allows them to gain influence over their subjects, making their suggestions seem not only logical but desirable. Timing is another critical element. The ability to recognize the perfect moment to act, whether to plant a seed of doubt, encourage a decision, or solidify an alliance, distinguishes the master manipulator from the amateur. Patience, therefore, becomes a vital trait, as manipulation often requires gradual effort rather than immediate gratification. Language serves as the manipulator's most potent weapon. Through careful choice of words, tone, and framing, they can evoke emotions, redirect focus, or subtly reshape reality. They employ tactics such as gaslighting, flattery, guilt-tripping, or playing the victim to maintain control. Storytelling is another powerful tool, allowing manipulators to craft narratives that captivate, persuade, and influence. A well-told story appeals to emotions, embeds ideas into memory, and creates a sense of relatability that logic alone cannot achieve. The ethical boundaries of manipulation are often blurred, raising important questions about intent and impact. When used responsibly, it can inspire positive change, motivate teams, or resolve conflicts. Conversely, when wielded selfishly or maliciously, it can lead to distrust, harm, or even chaos. Ultimately, the mastery of manipulation demands both skill and responsibility. It is a double-edged sword, offering tremendous potential for influence but equally significant risks. Manipulators must navigate a delicate balance between achieving their goals and preserving the autonomy and well-being of others. The true measure of mastery lies not merely in the ability to manipulate, but in the wisdom to determine when and how to use it ethically. In a world where influence shapes outcomes, the mastery of manipulation stands as both a formidable skill and a profound moral test. Number 6. An unexpected revealing sign. Life often unfolds in ways we least expect, sometimes through subtle moments that carry profound meanings. This is a story of one such moment, a quiet, almost unnoticed event that changed everything. The day began like any other, under a pale gray sky that mirrored Emma's mood. She had been wrestling with an unanswered question for weeks, a nagging doubt that clung to her spirit like a shadow. Was she on the right path? Her job, her relationships, even her sense of self. It all felt like a puzzle, with missing pieces. The world around her, once vibrant and full of promise, now seemed muted and unclear. Yet despite her inner turmoil, she trudged through her daily routine, oblivious to the sign that was about to reveal itself. It happened at the small cafe she frequented on her way to work. The bell above the door jingled as she entered, the scent of fresh coffee mingling with the sound of gentle jazz in the background. Emma ordered her usual, a latte with a dash of cinnamon, and took a seat by the window, staring at the raindrops streaking the glass. She didn't notice the elderly man who sat at the next table until he spoke. His voice was soft but firm, carrying a wisdom that immediately caught her attention. "Sometimes the answers we seek aren't ahead of us," he said, "but all around us waiting for us to notice." Emma turned to him, startled. She hadn't shared her feelings with anyone, yet his words resonated deeply. Before she could respond, he smiled and gestured toward the napkin on her table. Confused, she picked it up and saw a simple drawing, a single, unbroken line forming the shape of a heart. Beneath it were 3 words: "Trust your journey." A chill ran down her spine. How could he have known? The man rose to leave, tipping his hat with a nod. "Remember," he said, Every sign has a purpose. You just have to believe. And then, he was gone. Emma sat frozen, staring at the napkin. It wasn't just the words, it was the timing, the uncanny way they aligned with her unspoken doubts. The heart was imperfect, its line wavering in places, but somehow, that made it even more meaningful. Life, she realized, wasn't about perfection. It was about embracing the twists and turns, finding beauty in the flaws. That day, Emma made a decision. She would stop doubting herself and start trusting the process. Her path might not always be clear, but the sign she had received was undeniable. It wasn't just a coincidence, it was a reminder that even in her darkest moments, the universe was listening. The napkin now rests on her desk, a constant reminder to trust her journey and to remain open to the unexpected. Because sometimes the most revealing signs come not with fanfare, but in the quiet moments when we least expect them. Dealing with toxic or manipulative individuals can be one of life's greatest challenges, but recognizing the signs is the first step to protecting yourself. By staying vigilant and leaning into the wisdom of Stoicism, we can learn to stay grounded, maintain control over our emotions, and not be swayed by the harmful actions of others. Remember, true strength lies in how we respond, not in what others do to us. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights. And let us know in the comments. What strategies have you used to stay resilient in the face of negativity? Until next time, stay strong, stay mindful, and keep growing.